Hey Ottawa, this is your Monday market snapshot for Monday, August 21st, 2023. We're 3/4 of the way through August and let's see what's going on in Ottawa's real estate market. My name is Annalee Rice. I'm a realtor in Ottawa at Royal LePage Performance Realty, and every week I bring you the numbers, the stats, the details of what's going on in Ottawa. Let's go. Okay, so if we look at stats citywide, we see that there was, again, for the third week in a row, we've got an increase in the number of active listings across the city. We're up by 51 this week. That's another 2.5% for active listings. For number of sold properties, we're up slightly to 189, which is plus 8 from last week. And it's across all property types. And if you add up those numbers, it doesn't seem to add up. So it adds up to plus 17, but the number of semi-detached properties was actually lower this week, which averaged it out to that plus 8. Okay, so in graph form, we see the continued growth of the number of active listings across the city. We climbed through that 2,000 mark this last week. And while I do expect that it could grow again a little bit this coming week, it will slightly go down probably with the Labor Day weekend coming up. The number of conditionally sold properties again was remained fairly steady from week to week, just down by 8. And again, I mentioned the number of sales was up by 8, so that kept them pretty well steady. With the new listings, okay, so this is our new listings chart. Still need to put a title on that one, sorry. There were 380 properties listed this week, which is nearly identical to last week. Of the properties that were listed, 78% of them, or 295, were new to the market. That's the green or aqua green blue line. And 22%, or 85, were relisted properties. That's the gray line. And then we can see the sold properties are in there as well. Okay, so this is a little bit of a reworked slide. I was tired of the big chart, but it's still there. 21% of the homes that sold this week sold with no conditions, while 79% sold with conditions. And I just shrunk down the chart there. The last 4 weeks average, we see about 23% for no conditions, 77% for conditions. And 16% of the homes that sold this week sold in 7 days or less, and 60% of those sold with no conditions. And then 65% of the homes sold in 30 days or less. Just a comment here, with our inventory climbing, I do expect that the percent selling within a month is going to start to decrease as we start getting more inventory on the market. Again, as always, highly desirable, presented well, and well-priced properties will still sell quickly, but so there will still be some that sell within that 7-day period, but it just won't be the averages. Okay, so we'll zoom in here and see in more detail into the different regions of the city. First off, in the central urban region, we see a slight decrease in the active listings across property types, and the sales were up for both the detached and towns, slightly down for the condos. In Canada and Stittsville, we see a slight increase for detached homes, but a slight drop for towns and condos for active listings, and sales were down for detached and towns, and just up slightly for condominiums. In Barrhaven and Riverside South, we see an increase in active listings across property types, and meanwhile sales were up for both the detached and condos and down fairly significantly for the townhomes. In Orleans, we have an increase in active listings for detached and towns and a drop for condos. We were at a pretty high number at 47 last week, so dropped down to a little bit more normal numbers. Sales were up for both detached and towns and completely flat for condos. And as always, I've got the full stats in table format for detached and towns, and of course the condominiums. Okay, so that's all for this week. It was pretty quick, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And if you have any questions or any suggestions on what I include or what you'd like to see, just drop me a line, let me know, give a comment in the YouTube comments. Have a great week.